Thanks for watching. Perhaps you have seen me paint up this Vanquish Pro body in the last video. If not, please go check it out. And you might have wondered why I picked that mustard color. In today's video, you're going to figure that out because we're going to discuss this brand new VS410 Portal Builder's Kit, which comes packed with features, and we're going to go over each and every single one of them and also see how this body eventually then looks on top of the chassis. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to discuss this, which is the Vanquish VS410 Portal Builder's Kit. That might sound like a really stripped down version of the VS410 Phoenix Portal Kit, but it really isn't. This is the ultimate portal kit because it comes with a ton of upgrades right inside the box. This is of course something that you need to assemble, so it does not come with a body, it does not come with any electronics, so you need to provide all of that stuff yourself. It also does not come with any bumpers, and it does not come with any wheels and tires. Apart from that, you get everything that you need. So you get grease, you get thread locker, you do not get any tools of course, except for, I do think you get like a wheel undoing tool, like a cross wrench like this. But apart from that, you need to supply your own stuff that I just mentioned. But it comes with a ton of upgrades, and what upgrades those are, I'll explain that all to you in this video. This manual, this immediately also, I think, kind of explains why I went with a mustard color on this VS410 Pro, Origin Pro body. Whatever it is, you've seen me paint this up perhaps in the last video, in one of the last videos that I've made, because it could be that there's like one video in between, but I will make sure that it is linked over here in the top of your screen or in the video description box so you can check it out. This is the box that it comes in, and I think the box already indicates that you're dealing with something special, because this is the highest quality, I think one of the highest quality builder's kits that I have assembled. Not even in a long time, ever. One of the last kits that I truly enjoyed that was extreme high quality was, I think, the H10 Optic, but this thing over here takes the cake. So this is even a level higher, just because of all the upgrades that you find inside of the box. It says on the back what all comes in upgrade-wise, but I will just walk you through it. See if I can remember it by heart. You get a very clear manual, so there's plenty of super clear instructions over here. If you ever think that they've done something wrong because it doesn't match what you have done over here, then you are wrong and they are not. I can also tell you that from experience, because I've had a few times where I was like, missed a step, but I had actually missed a step. So if you really keep a close eye on this manual and you follow it to a T, you will have no problems whatsoever to assemble this thing. So what are the party tricks of this VS410 Portal Builder's Kit? The main party trick, I think, is all of the stuff that's going on in this VFD Twin Ultimate transmission. And why is it called the Ultimate transmission? That is because it is jam-packed with all of the upgrades that you can find on the Vanquish products website. So this thing comes with the machined motor mount, it comes with all machined gears on the inside, it comes with the machined bearing carriers, it also comes with the machined or the aluminum standoffs that then sit on the side over here to add a tiny bit of rigidity, but also make it look even better than it already does. So all of the stuff that you find on the Vanquish website that you could potentially add to your VFD Twin transmission is already in here. And if you take a look at this stuff, these are the gears, for example, with the bearing carriers. This is one of those motor plates, and these are the standoffs. If you add all of this stuff up, you're talking about $130, $140 worth of upgrades already in this builder's kit. So that's something to definitely consider. This VFD Twin transmission has two yokes, to put it like that. One of them sits on this side over here, and the other one, currently on mine, is not in use. The one that I'm not using is for the dig, so you can select dig, basically locking out the rear axle and just driving the front axle, which is something that I'm not going to have any use for. But what you can also do, and that I did install on the other side, this is the Selectable overdrive, which is, I think, one of the coolest features to ever make it to any RC trail truck ever. The selectable overdrive means that you can select, of course, an overdrive for your front axle. So you can make some tighter turns, you can climb over obstacles a tiny bit easier because your back end is not going to throw you off or throw you out. You always have the ultimate amount of grip on the front end. So that is a feature that I did want to have. I might add the selectable dig later, but not at this stage, not for my type of usage. If you are familiar with the VS410 line of vehicles, the rest of the chassis from the top will look very familiar. So you got a fuel cell in the back, you have a lot of bracing between those two C-channel frame rails. The shock towers are at a 90-degree angle from where you would expect them perhaps to be if you compare it to the majority of the other trail trucks on the market. And on those shock mounts you will also find some hard anodized shocks. These are incision shocks, 80 millimeters. Those shock bodies are hard anodized, and that's also something that is different from, for example, the VS410 Phoenix Portal builder's kit. So there are constant little updates being made and little tricks being added to whatever it is that you can purchase from Vanquish products. These F10 axles, these are works of art. I greatly enjoy assembling these every time I do it. They have a high entrance pinion gear, meaning that you have more room underneath of those drive shafts, giving you more bottom clearance for the truck, less chance to get hung up on anything. But it also means that you have helically cut gears on the inside, and these are all machined gears, so there's really nothing to worry about. And also the way that you assemble these axles is really cool, because you have kind of a complete cradle with your ring and pinion gear that you then insert inside of the axle housing. Inside of these axle housings you will also find some brass tubing, so they are weighted to the ultimate point, and especially with what they have added on the outside. So you have some portal knuckle weights, which is really cool. This adds so much weight in the front that there's really not a whole lot more that you can do to make this truck even higher spec. You have some really well-performing universals in the front. It gives you an incredible amount of steering throw, and everything just runs very, very smooth. Like I said, if there is anything that poses questions or that makes you think that the manual didn't make any sense, read it again, because I promise you that it will make sense. Connected to these F10 Portal Axles you will also find some HD links with some HD rod ends. So it really ticks all of the boxes in terms of what you can upgrade on a VS410 chassis. There was one minor thing that I would advise to you if you are building one of these, and that is wait to the very last moment to tighten up your motor screws, and also wait to the very last moment and do them one at a time for your spur gear, because that one as well, it can be a tiny bit wobbly, but you will immediately hear that once you test run the truck. Now, the electronics that are selected, those must also of course be of equal high quality just to build this thing the correct way. So we went with a Reeves RC RAW 500 steering servo, a Reeves RAW 400 LP, which is a low profile servo, for that selectable overdrive that makes sure that it doesn't really poke into the interior of that pro body all too much. I went with a Castle Creations Mamba X ESC, that one you see over here, and I wanted to have this one specifically because I really like what they have going on with their auxiliary wire. If you're not familiar with the Mamba X and what it can do, definitely go check it out. Go check out the specs list, but also talk to some people perhaps who have one. That auxiliary wire is really, I hate people saying this, but it is a game changer. So that auxiliary wire will allow you to tune your drag brake on the fly. So in this case, I'm running this Futaba 4PX radio, and I have set up this dial switch for my drag brake. So plugging the auxiliary wire in channel 4, make sure that I can tune down this drag brake to absolutely nothing or to 100%, which of course makes sure that you have an extra party trick to show your friends out on the trails. And I combined this with a Castle Creations 1406 Slate motor, 1900 kV, tiny bit little perhaps for this setup, but it also makes sure that I can easily run it on 4S without having any type of worries. I put my Futaba receiver in the back over here in the fuel cell just to make it a tiny bit waterproof, and I also try to obscure the wires in the best way possible. Well, I think that should explain you the majority of what's going on chassis-wise. Then the only thing we still have to discuss are the wheels. These are Method 101 wheels from Vanquish products in their red anodization. Also the inserts of the tires, these are directly from Vanquish. And these are the Yokohama Geolandar XAT tires in, I believe, a red compound. These are very sticky, so once you get them out of the bag, make sure that you don't have any pets or anything close by, because this will stick directly to their fur and you might have problems finding your tires again. These tires and these wheels, these were kind of the inspiration, these wheels I must say, were the inspiration for this paint job then on that Pro body. And I greatly enjoyed finding the colors to match this red anodization too, because I do think that they look absolutely fantastic. I think this should give you a tiny bit of an idea of what you get inside of this VS410 Portal Builders Kit and how upgraded it actually is. If you want links to any of the products that I mentioned, so that could be the Reef steering servo, the Mamba X, the motor, any of the stuff that I mentioned, even the Futaba radio, I will make sure that it is listed in the video description box. And while you're there, make sure that you press the subscribe button. It is absolutely free. I do not have any memberships or any fees or hidden fees, or I don't plan on doing that either, not in the near future at very least. As long as I keep making these videos in a fun way, I will keep doing that. So make sure you hit that button, it's free, and I really, really appreciate your support. In the last video, or one of the last videos where I painted up that Pro body, the kind comments as well, it's really heartwarming and it really makes it fun for me to keep doing this. So I appreciate you, and I hope you appreciate me. Let's charge your battery and let's get this thing out on the trails.